What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Tactical Pineapple, we're going to talk about another thing that everybody says you need to have for self-defense, that when thinking about it, do you fucking really? Alright, so before we get into it, this is the part of the video where you skip ahead about 42 seconds and you fucking enjoy the rest of the goddamn video. But if you don't want to skip ahead and you actually want to support the fucking channel, you can go to www.tacticalpineapple.com/express. That's EXXPRESS, Express. That's where you can get yourself one of our universal mount holsters, which is really the best way that you can support the channel because, frankly, that's pretty much the only thing I make fucking money on. So anyways, that's the only way to do it. We don't have an OnlyFans. We don't have a fucking, sidebar chat where we take a bunch of money from you. But we do like to give you something cool if you want to support the channel. So definitely go check out those holsters. It's something that we fucking really like. Jake is doing better. He's going to be back on shit as of the day this video is released. So good for him. Good for you. Thanks for sticking around, and let's get into it. So yeah, obviously we talked about fitness being one of those things where everybody says you should really be fit to better defend yourself. And the crux of it is, well, you don't really have to be. Interestingly enough, I saw that Johnny B had something in one of his shorts today. Not those shorts, one of his YouTube shorts, basically TikTok, but for YouTubers. So don't get your fucking head out of the gutter. Yes, I know you fuckers. I can't trust you. Anyways, but he was talking about whether or not we actually care about ourselves, whether we do worry about our own safety, because we drive 90 on the highway, eat double cheeseburgers, and fucking whatever. Well, Johnny, I know you won't see this, but if you do, my answer to you is this. I choose to defend my life and my liberty with a pistol and a firearm because I like my life. I like the life that I live, and that life is what I choose to defend. Now, my life will be cut short because I'm number one, fat, number two, I drink, and number three, I'm an asshole. I'm also Irish, I have high blood pressure, and I'm just generally overall a piece of shit. But hey, that's enough about me. Let's talk about one of those things that I believe we don't really need that people say we do, and it's exorbitant amounts of training. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe every single individual who owns a firearm should understand how to use that firearm properly, should be well versed in using it as far as, battery of arms, as far as shooting it, being able to actually hit a fucking target. And I believe that's something that you do sort of lose if you don't use. It's a perishable skill as it may be, but how perishable is it really? I personally am an individual who can speak to the fact that after 14 to 15 years of not picking up or shooting a firearm, it did not take me long to get back in the saddle. By long, I'm saying a couple hundred rounds, and I felt pretty goddamn comfortable with myself again. Now, is that going to be the case for everybody? No. I mean, it depends on the situation beforehand, how well you trained, how you did before. Now, prior to me becoming a restricted individual, which we've all talked about that before, we can talk about it in depth again if need be, but before becoming a restricted individual, I did a lot of shooting. I shot trap. I shot the pistol before every trap match. I was out shooting the rifles fucking 2 or 3 times a month minimum. I was shooting way more then than I am now because, number one, ammo was fucking cheap, and number two, I didn't have any bills. So there's that. Now, did I lose some skill? Obviously you fucking lose some skill. You lose that muscle memory, you lose the ability to do some things, but the reality is I think a lot of the things that you lose, you can train without actually firing rounds. What do I mean by that? Dry fire training. Dry fire training means something. Now, I'm not here to promote some fucking overpriced fucking system that tells you how accurate your dry firing is, because the reality is probably doesn't fucking matter. Your dry fire accuracy doesn't mean shit when you get on range, because your motor impulse to control the explosion that's going off 3.5 fucking inches away from your fucking hand, probably fucking makes a difference, right? We know if we're dry fire training that we're not going to get the impulse control. We're not going to get the recoil. We're not going to have to worry about all of that. So there's a lack of the anticipation, which is why individuals who do dry fire training, they'll sit there and say, put a penny on top of it and see if you can make it not move. It does matter. That's actually a pretty good drill. And to be completely honest, if you're looking down your sights at something and you have a penny on the end of your gun and you pull the trigger and the penny does not fall off the end of your gun, generally speaking, you've just placed an accurate shot. You don't need a $170 fucking piece of shit that attaches to your gun through 35 minutes worth of fucking whatever the fuck to tell you that you're doing a good job. So for that, I would say definitely save your money. And yes, I know I just completely washed away my opportunity at making some money sometime down the line, but I don't really give a shit. Change my mind, right? You're welcome to send it to me for free of charge, and I will review it and tell you whether or not it actually fucking works. Other than that, it's not. I would never spend money on it. So I don't believe you need that. I do believe that an individual needs to understand their firearm. I do believe that an individual needs to spend some time at a range and does need to get some time to get comfortable behind the firearm. I also believe that you should shoot whatever you're shooting. So if you go to a range and they don't allow you to shoot hollow point ammunition, then you're going to have to go someplace that allows you to shoot hollow point ammunition if that's what you're going to carry in your fucking pistol every day. Because you need to understand exactly how that round is going to feel. You need to understand exactly how that round is going to react. Now, is it really as big of a deal as a lot of people make out of it? Probably not. Most self-defense shootings take place within 5 to 10 feet. That being said, you guys are currently sitting about 5 feet away from me. If I can't hit you, if I couldn't hit what I'm recording into right now, the camera, from 5 feet away, under stress, I probably shouldn't have pulled the fucking gun and fired it, right? This is generally speaking, like, point and shoot a motherfucker. Like, everybody gives the SIG SAS fucking shit because the sights are garbage. Well, the reality is maybe they know something that we don't, right? Maybe they've been honest with themselves and said, look, we don't care if the sights are shit on this gun, as long as there's something to reference, right? Because under stress, you're not going to pay attention to your sights, which is why so many people are going to red dots. You don't have to think so much. You just present and fire, right? Well, the fact of the matter is in most cases, you present and fire anyways. It's not a matter of you present, you stare down the sights, you make sure everything's aligned perfectly, and then you pull the trigger. If you do that, you're going to be lucky if you get round one off. What you need to do is make sure that you're fucking doing your goddamn job and fucking get that gun out, point it in the direction that it's supposed to be pointed, and aim for the biggest part of the body. On me, I've got a fucking target zone like you wouldn't fucking believe. You just start pulling the fucking trigger and walk that bitch in. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if there's nothing behind it, right? You don't have to worry about collateral damage. You fucking just do what you need to do and get her done, right? It's not about training. It's about getting that shit taken care of. So, again, let's just push the norm. That's kind of what I'm saying here is don't let your ability to get out and train or your ability to afford a $400 training class from some operator who's going to teach you a bunch of shit you're never going to fucking use, because let's face it, 99.9% of civilians are never going to have to go through some fucking clearing drill in their own home, right? If you're using your gun in self-defense in your home, you're probably already in your home. You're not clearing the rooms. You're making sure the motherfucker isn't in a room. That's plain and simple. You know your house better than anybody else. You know the angles. You know where that person is based on the sounds that you're hearing that brought your attention to them in the first place. So you're not going to be going and clearing the fucking house. If you are clearing your house, it's because you chose to put yourself in a situation that's probably going to be pretty hard for yourself to defend in most cases, because you came home to somebody burglarizing your house and you decided to enter that building and go on a witch hunt. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying be prepared to defend yourself in court if that's what you end up doing. So, like I said, 99.9% of all that training is great. It offers you more familiarity with your firearm. It offers you more skill set with your firearm. But when it comes to the majority of essentially situations where you're ever going to actually use your firearm, you don't need it. So don't let that be the thing that stops you from carrying. So until next time, folks, this is where I'm going to cut it off. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate it. We do all this for you guys, and some for me because I'm an egomaniac piece of shit, right? I've said it before. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. I've got a little bit more time before I head back to real world work, so I can still engage with y'all pretty fucking regularly. Until the next video, folks, carry your fucking pistols. Brandon fucking hates them.